Hi everyone, it's me, Julie O'Connell. I'm just coming on here to do this live because Scientology, at again in LA, is trying to get a permit to close down L. Ron Hubbard Way to do a Toys for Tot event. They have systematically abused their permits and also put out the illegal planters again for this event to block the sidewalk so disabled people cannot get through. Scientology needs to be held accountable for all their actions against the public. They have systematically stemmed the right of way for public to be able to walk through on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Tori Christman spoke at the latest LAPD commissioners meeting about how she's the one that got it changed over to L. Ron Hubbard Way instead of Barino Avenue. This is why Tori Christmas woke up in 2000 and escaped from Scientology. Scientology is a human trafficking cult. And I appreciate Tori because she speaks the truth and speaks her truth in a very poignant way. I commend the work that LA Audit has done in LA to try to get the abuses well known and well documented with the Public Works Department. Also, these permits, they should be denied by the LA commissioners because Scientology should not be able to block the street. They don't believe in Christmas. L. Ron Hubbard stated in his own testimony in the Scientology confidential material that Jesus Christ was a pedophile, that he sexually abused young boys, which is furthest from the truth. I don't believe in that in any way, shape, or form. L. Ron Hubbard was a liar. L. Ron Hubbard was a fraud. The LAPD commissioners meeting that Jenna and Serge and Aaron went to was very poignant to discuss the reasons why Scientology should be mandatory reporters, because most church communities are mandatory reporters of abuse. And they do try to solve things rationally. Scientology never tries to deal with things rationally. They used slave labor to lay those bricks on L. Ron Hubbard Way. There was no masons involved. No permits were had to do all that. They used slave labor to do those bricks on L. Ron Hubbard Way. I don't condone the Church of Scientology because they have violated the public's rights for too long. And it's time that the LAPD and the LA commissioners and the Public Works Department in LA needs to shut down these permits for Scientology. Because Scientology is a human trafficking cult. They have abused children. They have covered up crimes. They have covered up SA. They have attacked family members within the Church of Scientology. This is why so many people have been trying to escape with their whole families. Natalie Webster did. Scientology has done everything in its power to try to abuse the system on how they get these permits. And the LA Public Works Department definitely needs to stop giving them permits. Because they don't believe in Christmas. And they don't believe in the true meaning of Christmas. And the true meaning of Christmas, for me, is the birth of Jesus Christ. And even in the Bible, Jesus denounces false religions. And this is a false religion. It is nothing but a cult that abuses its members. It physically harms their members. They don't allow them to have the medical care that they need. They don't allow them to seek any psychiatric help. That is what happened with Lisa McPherson. That's why so many protested on the 30th anniversary of her death. Scientology will do everything in its power to gain control over certain cities. They've done it in Clearwater, Florida, and now they're targeting the city council's attorney. We just need to come together and support the people actually fighting the Church of Scientology. I do support everything that Audit LA has done. I really do, because she has been one of the ones out there this whole time trying to get their tax exempt status away, to make it known about these permits on L. Ron Hubbard Way that they keep wanting to do to block access to the public. I also love Laura FM. I will be starting to watch her again. She stayed out of the drama. I don't support drama channels, and there are too many of them, and too many people with fake agendas and trying to harm others. I do not support some of the ways that some of the protesters are going about things, because some things have been so aggressive lately and so outrageous. But I do not treat people unkindly, and the Church of Scientology has treated people unkindly by not allowing them access to the public sidewalk, to the right of way to walk on the sidewalk. In Florida, they have license plate readers, they have cameras everywhere. And that's invasion of the public's privacy, honestly. And that should be reported. I mean, like, it's really disturbing. It's really disturbing how the Church of Scientology treats its members. They are so brainwashed into thinking that their thoughts and feelings are not valid, that they have to do what is best for the group. And it's better to do the group think than to sidetrack off of that, because then you have to go into intense auditing sessions at your own dime. Some of the Scientologists that have left have stated they've donated over $3 million to the Church of Scientology, or paid over $3 million just to do the services. It's embarrassing. No other religion do you have to pay for all this stuff. Now, if they have a charity event and you want to donate, that's fine. Like, in the Episcopal Church, they have their Episcopal ministries that they do. I can tell you, my Uncle Harry, he helped on Episcopal retreats to Africa to help build wells so that the villages could have fresh drinking water. He would dig ditches to help get wind and solar power in there. He would do everything in his power to help others, including give malaria nets to the people in Africa, because malaria is very high in Africa. It actually kills a lot of people. And same with building shelters right, because several people in Africa get rabies a year, and it's the truth. They have bats that will bite people, and people have been known to get rabies in Africa. So these malaria nets will help keep bats out of people's sleeping quarters too, as well. So I just feel like we can do more. Scientology has targeted the LA area community and targeted them in a harmful way for not letting them allowed to have access to the street or access to like where they need to go, because there are like pharmacies nearby, restaurants nearby. They just don't allow public access. And They should be held accountable for being mandatory reporters of abuse of children. But they are not held to the same standard that other religions are held to. Scientology gets away with being a religion because they got their tax-exempt status back in 1993 when the IRS caved to their needs. The IRS should be held accountable for giving this horrible human trafficking cult their tax-exempt status back. If we can all just come together and fight the Church of Scientology, Audit LA has been speaking their truth, that the LA commissioners and the LA Public Works has been in collusion with Scientology to allow them to get these permits for years. It's the truth. Thank you and have a great day. Take time for your family and friends. Just enjoy your family and friends. Thank you and have a great day.